What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dash, as well as the S&P 500. As you guys know, we do a different cryptocurrency here on the channel every single week with your guys' help. And on that note, as you guys can see right here on the screen, we are still doing our Bitcoin price ticker display giveaway every single weekend. On Saturday, we're going to be doing the drawing. All you have to do to enter to win one of these bad boys is comment your favorite cryptocurrency down below, as well as comment that you've subscribed. I will be checking. If you haven't subscribed, you won't be winning one of these. More importantly, what we're going to be talking about in today's episode is really something that, we just have to go over and discuss. As we know, the past couple of days, we've been building quite a bit of tension at the $1 resistance level on XRP and Bitcoin's $40,000 resistance level. And as you know, we've been retesting these levels for a couple of days now. I'd say a little less than a week. And we're finally starting to see the markets react to it and start to reverse downwards. Now, I'm not too worried just yet, as we do have some very strong support levels that have not been broken through yet. So ultimately, it is another day of consolidation. I do want to refresh you guys and show you guys more so what exactly is going on and why this shouldn't phase you and is not phasing me. Otherwise, if you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Remember to join our Discord, as we have over 1,400 members in there, an active community where we talk about cryptocurrency. Otherwise, let's jump into today's video. All right, so where do we even start? I'm on the current coin market cap real quick, top 10 cryptocurrencies. Everything is down once again. We saw quite a big shift in the market overall. Quite a bit of money has left the cryptocurrency market, only temporarily, as what I think. As you guys can see, Doge is down 12%. Most cryptocurrencies are down on average, I'd say about 9 to 8% across the board. Everything is either in double digits or about 8 or 9%, which is a pretty big drop. It's a big reversal. Probably not many people were anticipating this. I'm not worried just yet, as I do believe moving forward we should be able to retest those resistances again. As you guys can see, I just want to flash through these cryptos real quick and then I'll go over what exactly is going on. So more importantly, notice that every single crypto is reversing downwards, and Bitcoin seems to be that leading reversal, that leading resistance level that's pulling the prices down on the market overall. But once again, I'm not too worried about where we can see these markets moving to. As you guys can see, I do have XRP pulled up right here, and as we've discussed multiple times in the past, we do have a big symmetrical triangle forming here. Regardless, we do have this beautiful uptrend that's been holding support for quite some time now. So even if we do see the price of XRP reverse downwards and retest bottom support at like 85 cents, there's still that big chance we are going to reverse back up, retest $1, and if not, break through. Now, maybe this doesn't take that long. Maybe we see consolidation. Maybe it happens a little bit longer and we fill in this gap right here if this resistance and this downtrend is accurate. Ultimately, the reason I'm getting suspicious with this resistance is just because of how many times we've retested it. There's not that many key resistance levels that we've battled here. It's not like a constant resistance that we've been retesting. It is kind of just floating here. So I would like to see moving forward if we do battle that, or if we just naturally break through it and it wasn't really a resistance at all. Ultimately, so we may see consolidation right now. You can see a beautiful channel. There is resistance here. I mean, it's clear as day where resistance is on XRP. This is $1 resistance that just has not been broken yet. This is multiple retests. Constant retesting isn't necessarily a good sign for the market, but it is showing that this is a key level that we have to break through. And that's why I've pretty much been confirmed that my target is maybe we can move it up just a little bit higher, but ultimately at like $1. So if we close at about like $1.05, and we actually close a daily candle above that, that's when I'd be buying into long this market to the upside. So whether we take, a longer time to consolidate, it's really just up to how this market plays out. We obviously know, though, if prices come back down and we close, let's say, below 83 cents and we close closer to, 76 cents, there's a big chance we're going to short this market to the downside. And vice versa, if at any point we break through that $1.05 resistance, we can leverage this to the upside. Now, we're probably battling the 4-hour. I just want to pull this up here. You can see kind of where that resistance level is playing out and acting up, and that's kind of where we've been breaking downwards the past couple of hours. We don't look too bad. I just want to zoom in on the MACD. A small bearish cross on the MACD, not too bad. It's only short term. But ultimately, you can see we're getting close to having, though, a bullish cross right here on the moving averages on the 4 hour. So we had this bearish cross that happened back in May 21st. And then since then, we've been consolidating. And it seems like prices have finally caught up. And we're starting to see that bullish cross right here. So there's a lot of resistance here. You can clearly see why we're having some trouble right here, battling the moving average as well as this resistance here. But I think it's only temporary. And I do think that the way the markets have been acting the past couple of days, we should be able to see volume re-enter the markets and break through $1. That's really where my head's at. Obviously, it's about a 70-30% chance that's where my head's at right now, that we break through resistance or we short it to the downside. I'm not entirely sure. We'd have to just sit and watch the markets consolidate, but I'm not worried just yet. Things still look good. You have to consider this. I mean, let's say we just draw out real quick a big symmetrical triangle as such. Obviously, the first couple of months within the triangle, or the first couple of weeks within the triangle, we're going to see these big waves of volume here, as you guys can clearly tell. And then what happens after that? We probably just consolidate in, and then we basically trade sideways, and then we'll either see a break in either direction, as you guys can clearly tell. So ultimately, look at how similar this pattern is of symmetrical triangle, this symmetrical triangle is that I drew, to what's actually forming right now. The first wave that we have is really big, and then we start to have these massive flares in either direction, and this is where the excitement comes in. People are excited to see XRP shooting from 57 cents all the way up to $1.97. It's these massive waves, but ultimately what happens is we eventually consolidate. I call this the ripple effect. When you bounce a basketball, it just slowly consolidates down, and eventually we get caught up inside here as the angles get closer to eventually hitting the apex or the end of this. But right now, we're literally just filling in this gap right here. There's only a couple days left on here. It's somehow mid-June before we see it actually break through here, but ultimately it is going to slow down on the big volume spikes that we've been seeing, and that's why I'm really not too worried about this. It is something that's expected. It is something that really is just a natural consolidation move that happens within markets all the time. And that's why I'm really not too worried on this. Ultimately, those people that sold off, they're going to sell off, and they're going to be the ones that lose money, not us, especially with the plans that we have moving forward for this. So we are waiting to see what happens in this consolidation. There's a big possibility that the markets may just let us consolidate into here. There's still some big opportunities. If we hit bottom support here and we shoot up, we'll actually leverage this to the upside here. But ultimately, we're waiting to see what happens if we break through $1 and pump up higher, or break through bottom support and correct lower. Regardless, as we fill in this gap, if at any point we get closer to here, usually volume spikes up. It's usually about the same volume as the mouth of the breakout, and you can see right here the mouth of the triangle. This is a massive jump in price, and if we compare that up here, we could easily see retests back to all-time highs or major shortages to the downside. So it is very hit or miss right now, but ultimately we're just trying to find the time that the markets do decide to break out, and you can see it's pretty much getting closer. At most we have maybe, I don't know, 2.5 weeks at most filling in this consolidation, and hopefully you guys agree with me. But we do have to spend quite a bit of time understanding that markets tend to break out a little bit earlier than actually filling the gap here. So we could easily see a breakout this week, easily by next week. And ultimately, if we see correction break us above $1.05 specifically, that's when I plan on buying in, because I have a strong belief after we break through this massive resistance that we've been battling, not only on the daily like we're currently doing, but on the 4 hour, it should give us enough movement to swing up. So I haven't yet been invested in the market. We've been waiting for these resistances to be broken so that we can actually buy in, because as you guys know, if at any point we bought in on these wicks right here, when it wicked up to $1.08, we would have lost money immediately seeing correction back downwards. So it is a waiting game right now, but I am very confident we will see an even bigger run than this current one that's happening right now, because of how long this has been consolidating. This has easily been April, May, June, probably like 3 months. I mean, that is quite some time for a consolidation, especially for this major symmetrical triangle. These higher low formations on the bottom support is major key and a vital source to pretty much, show us that we're probably going to continue to break bullish. And we still have good confirmations. We're trading at beautifully 43 on the relative strength indicator. We have a bullish cross on the MACD. Everything is hinting and signaling as a bullish move to the upside is what's coming. So I am in no way worried about this. I have yet to invest back into it. I am waiting, and hopefully if you guys like that, you can do so. You can do the same. It's just my conservative approach moving forward. I will let you guys know, obviously, on Discord and Patreon when I buy back in, but until then, I am going to wait. You can see where we hit kind of resistance right here on Ethereum. Ethereum looks great. Like, I'm very excited to see that this FOMO that we saw right here is over with. This is all legit FOMO. I mean, I don't know how else to describe this. Everything above this, even this ascending triangle to the upside, this ascending fractal, this is extremely bullish. I mean, granted, from the start all the way up, it's about a 182% jump to the upside. That's phenomenal. But this and everything above here was all just fear of missing out. Everybody just bought into this market and exploded it up. It's not stable. And the fact that we saw a reversal right back inside our ascending fractal was enough for me to say this is beautiful and this is amazing. We have a clear resistance up here that splits this ascending fractal, which is interesting. And we are using it as resistance right now, but I'm not worried. I still think we're going to be heading up higher very soon. And that to me is exciting. And I do believe we're going to continue to reverse up. So long-term investment in here, we have not shown any signs of bear market. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers are literally pumping bear market information. And I understand why that could really swing a market because their channels are so much bigger and they can reach a much bigger audience. And I'm hoping that, the people that are watching here currently can understand where they get off doing that. I mean, they see the fear and they know they can monopolize on it by making videos like that. But ultimately, we have no signs yet of bear market. Charts are still from January. January price was 24 cents on XRP. March prices were 43 cents on XRP. April prices were 57 cents on XRP. In, April, end of April, we had prices at $1. Yes, we have a smaller movement, but ultimately following this uptrend, in May, we have prices at 78 cents. In June, we have prices up to pretty much 89 cents, 85 cents. So ultimately, every month, we've still been scaling higher. This is just a more conservative route that I like to basically pump the prices of the coin up much higher. Obviously, markets are still volatile. We'll probably see a big leap very soon, but I'm not worried just yet. And I think today will probably be the end of this consolidation if you guys are worried on us correcting lower. You can see the same thing would apply to Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin did spiral down here a little bit, but we've been using since the beginning of October more so this consolidation, this uptrend, than what we've been using now, which is this major ascending fractal. It did break bearish. We do have still a bearish divergence on the coin, but I am still not switching bearish, and I don't think the market is bearish until we actually and legitimately close this daily candle below here. If we close today at like 32,000, and ultimately if we close today below, I would say $30,000 as my means of anticipating a short for the remainder of the market, I'm still bullish, until we get to see the confirmation where prices close at 30K or like $29,000, then I'm switching bearish. But until then, we've just been, consolidating off here. There's a chance we could break lower and eventually come back up, but let's see how this market plays out. We could easily break bullish through here. I mean, there's many routes we can take here. Markets can consolidate in this, symmetrical triangle we've been forming and pump higher, kind of like this movement here. Kind of like this, and we break through ascending the resistance and we shoot up. Or markets could hit here and then we could eventually break bearish and break through a prior low. Obviously, if markets shoot up here and then we close like at 30K, which is lower than our prior low, then it is a consolidation and it is a bear market, but we have yet to see that. Ultimately, we are still getting sandwiched in between this major, uptrend right here. Beautiful uptrend that's been on the coin for months now. We do have a downtrend and a resistance here. And I do believe as markets slowly consolidate, we should be able to pop through 40K and long this either up to 48,000, which is seemingly where this coin is going to probably end up retesting 48,000. So my goal would be to see this consolidation happen. We close above 40K, maybe at 40,500 a daily we close, and then we immediately see markets reverse back up to like $48,000. Obviously, it all depends on how this descending fractal looks. Ultimately, what would set this market into a bullish frenzy would be as if we closed above this resistance here. If we close above the downtrend, it's game on and we're still in a bull market. But this is just healthy consolidation, guys. This is nothing to be afraid of just yet. There's still a beautiful long-term uptrend here that's just a healthy form of consolidation. We did scale a little too high too quickly, but we could easily build the momentum up and retest this in September. We could easily retest all-time highs in September. I would not be surprised at all. So we have to let this market play out right now. I'm not worried. Dash is literally just waiting on all its buddies of the altcoins to swing this market up higher. And then the S&P 500, which is what I'm more interested in, believe it or not, is still consolidating here. I'm looking. We just had a slight bullish cross on the MACD, but it seems like for the most part, prices are consolidating right here. I'd like to see it revert, swing back up. I'd like to see, obviously, everyone would like to see prices bump up higher, but we've just been at a resistance, at a standstill, at a halt. But I've also said that that is plenty good in my book. If we can consolidate like we're doing, back at the same resistance. This is the same resistance. If we manage to just consolidate like this and trend sideways like that and then swing up higher, that is fine in my book. Ultimately, what that's going to do is send us back down to about 50, if not to 40 on the relative strength indicator, give us plenty of room to shoot up higher, and we're just naturally going to be forced up because we're hitting the uptrend right here. That would be the best scenario, the most healthy scenario for the S&P 500 right now, but we just have to let the markets play out. Otherwise, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to join me over at Discord, enter for the giveaway, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.